am back again talking about TMS treatments. I am almost done. I did not make a video every day like I had said early on. Originally had thought would be a good idea, but there's not been as many changes as I thought there would be as far as going to the sessions, what happens, and I guess kind of anything new and different other than me journaling about how I'm doing each day and the different things that I tell them when I go in. Um, we've just been working up on my percent from my motor threshold and my treatment amount, and I'm very close to my 110 goal, which is kind of full treatment or full treatment amount. But I have tomorrow, which is Friday, and then I go Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week, only because I am making up for days that we had bad weather, and then 2 different days where I was struggling and didn't meet all the protocol or the criterias for me to go ahead and do the session that day. So we skipped, and we are adding on at the end to get the full 36 treatments in. Factor in that you're trying to get to this end of the 36 treatments and to have them all go kind of uniform when it comes to your life outside of the treatments. I've mentioned before that the thing they ask when you first go in is how many hours of sleep did you get? How is your mood? How many drinks did you have? If you happened to drink and you had a glass or two of wine, they factor all that in. And I've said before, like one time after the Super Bowl, I had said 3, and the tech had to confirm with the psychiatrist that that was okay for me to still do treatment. So they have very specific criterias. I'm being totally honest in all these videos. Back a couple weeks ago, the one day that I went and didn't do treatment was because I'd had a very bad night. I am dealing with a lot of CPTSD, trauma, some going back to childhood, but that I didn't struggle with throughout my adult life until the last couple of years, and coming off of a very mentally and emotionally abusive and violent relationship, or violence toward the end. It's hard to talk about, but I didn't realize in the midst of it how much it was going to end up affecting me. I don't think you see the trauma when you're in the middle of it as much as when you have things come up afterwards. So twice during treatment, when I've really been trying to put my all into it and want this to help with anxiety, a lot of anxiety, some depression, which I think is stemming mostly from the anxiety and the other things, and then this the severe anxiety or panic attacks or things that trigger me that I kind of spiral. I don't feel I have control over that, even with good coping mechanisms and healthy coping mechanisms. Once I have something happen or think something or see something and then start going, can I call it, in the dark place, I have a real hard time getting out. Haven't really figured out exactly how to make that stop from happening. It happened again 2 nights ago. I called and just canceled on my own yesterday because they weren't going to let me do treatment. I didn't sleep all night. Scale of 1 to 10 for my mood, I said 2 and was crying when I said it. So yeah, so I feel fidgety tonight. I still don't feel quite right from yesterday and the night before. I did go today for treatment. I had a motor threshold of 44. I had initially told her to go ahead and try what we ended at last time, which actually I'd gotten to 103 on Tuesday. So I had been continuing to come up. I forgot to mention that. And then my first trial, I said, no, you could go up more. I think we ended at 107, and I might be off, and this is not a big deal because it's different for every single person, but I'm just giving you an idea of how there's this variable that's in there every time you go. But other than that, everything stays pretty constant. And I did go back to taking a sleep medication last night. I was able to get about 8 or 9 hours of sleep last night by doing that. I talked to the psychiatrist briefly today in the lobby, and she said I need to just start doing that every night, especially through the end of treatment at least. 9 o'clock, take the other supplement, the magnesium glycate, and my regular medicines, and just I've got to kind of shut my brain off, because even in treatment, there's still a lot going on. I've said before, it's like a workout for your brain, like, running a 5K. Only it's in 3 minutes that your brain's exercising. So I am going to end for tonight. I think what I'll do is I'll do one more video that's going to be at the very end and kind of summarize. I do think that I meet with them a week out and then 3 more weeks out for follow-ups to see how I'm doing. And I've got a lot I need to kind of work through to see overall what I think, and also start asking about coming off my medications, because part of this whole process was to really try to not take the antidepressant or the anti-anxiety medicines anymore. I'd really like to see a difference without them after treatment, to see, because that was my main goal. And then I am going to do another treatment. I don't know yet that I'll do videos on it. I may consider that, maybe 1 or 2. It's called Prism. It is specifically for the PTSD or CPTSD and anxiety. It's a whole different process. It's like a video game with your mind, and it basically is training you to handle stressful situations and de-escalate them instead of escalate them, and how your brain actually can do that. There's no joystick or anything like that. So I am excited about that too. She did tell me today I could start it sooner than I had thought. I thought I had to wait 2 weeks, but yeah, I'm ready to kind of move forward and make some changes after all of this is done. So it's exciting. Like I said, I might seem a little down in this video, but I've had a couple bad days, and that's to be expected, treatment or not. So I hope everyone has a nice night or day, or wherever you're at in your life. And just remember that you matter, and it's okay to be happy and then not happy, and to have a lot of different feelings and emotions. I haven't really talked about that a lot, but I've been posting a lot of Facebook stuff and everything, and it's been striking me the last day or two that when everybody thinks you're all happy, and posting all kinds of positive stuff, and then suddenly you have a bad day and you post negative, and you see people drift away, or comments or private messages saying, you shouldn't talk about all that stuff. Don't listen. If it's important to you, then it's important. Blessings.